Do you still believe that NASA and SpaceX rockets weigh millions of pounds and travel 17,000 miles per hour? Aw, that's cute. Well, you sure they aren't just giant helium-filled balloons? In this video, I'm going to show you a few things, and what I would like you to do is just look at them with an unprogrammed mind. Look at them with a blank slate, and don't believe anything you've ever been told in the past, but just look with fresh eyes. Now, what I did in this first video that I want to show you is I removed the sound, because sound can deceive the eyes. If it sounds really fast, it can trick the mind into thinking it's moving fast. But with no sound, you can see how slowly this rocket takes off. And yeah, of course, if it weighed tons and tons of pounds or millions of pounds, it would start off slow. But I just want you to watch and notice that this isn't accelerating. It's continuing to just move at a snail's pace, maybe at the pace of what a helium balloon would look like if all of a sudden it was let go. And in a minute, I want to have you compare it to the clouds in the background, and you can see how slowly it's moving compared to the clouds. Now here it is, and I'm going to watch as they switch views, because they always switch views, and I just want you to watch how it's not gaining any speed. It's just continuing to meander slowly like a balloon. And then what I want to show you is its descent back to Earth. Okay, here's that rocket after it had reached a certain height, and now it's going to return back to Earth. And what it looks like to me is it's losing some sort of gas. I wonder what gas that could be. And then it's going to start falling to Earth. And again, does it look like something that's falling that weighs millions of pounds? Or does it simply look like a helium balloon that has had some air let out of it and now is meandering slowly back to Earth? You be the judge. And here it is, continuing to fall slowly compared to the clouds in the background. And at a certain point, they're going to cut. And then amazingly, it's going to look like a totally different rocket. And because they switched to CGI. And now it's going to magically land perfectly upright as they do. Let me show you some more. Next, I want to show you some video of a NASA fuel tank that was jettisoned as it makes its way back down to Earth. And first, I want to show you that it weighs 66,000 pounds. What a strange number. Now let's look at that 66,000 pound tank falling at free fall speeds. Does that look like free fall speed to you? Or does that look like another balloon that has lost some pressure and is meandering slowly back down to Earth? Like I said, look at this with unprogrammed, completely unprogrammed, fresh eyes. I know what I see. Now I simply want to point out this supposed multi-million pound aircraft having slight lift and then floating back down, up and down, up and down. Wow, I've never seen millions of pounds maneuver so easily. And why don't we take a look at this path it takes? Notice how it kind of flies off at an angle. I've seen balloons kind of take off at an angle. How does millions of pounds take off at an angle? Ask yourself these questions. And well, if you still just think I'm crazy and you're not convinced, have you ever seen this footage of this NASA rocket that looks like a balloon that had some air let out of it and collapses? Interesting. But they're the government. They would never deceive us with balloons. Oh, and by the way, do you know who the single greatest consumer of helium is in the entire world? That's right. A lot of people think it's for their satelloons, but I tend to think it's more for their fake rockets. I just want to leave you again with this final little lasting image of a rocket with some fake pyrotechnics underneath it, traveling at 17,000 miles per hour. Of course, this is all for entertainment purposes.